everyone, I'm Lily Michelle, and today I'm going to be talking about my summer TBR. If you live anywhere near where I live, you know that summer starts in May and it ends like never, ever. It's been summer since I was born. So when I say summer, I'm talking about from June 20th to September 22nd, which is, according to Google, the summer solstice to the autumnal equinox. So it's about 3 months and some days, which this TBR covers. I'm never really good at monthly TBRs because I get overwhelmed and I choose like 9 books and then I feel like a failure when I don't read all 9 books. So I thought I'd try a seasonal TBR and see how this works out. So bear with me. So the first book that I have is a poetry book, and that's A Book of Luminous Things. It's an anthology of poetry that covers pretty much all cultures around the world, and I'm about halfway through it, but I know between now and between Saturday, which is the summer solstice, which is the summer solstice, I'm not going to read this. So I would like to finish this within the next 3 months. I think that's doable. Probably. The next book that I have that I'm going to be reading is The Idiot by Fyodor Dostoevsky. So I'm currently reading Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky, and I'm loving it. And as soon as I finish it, I want to jump into another Russian classic, and War and Peace is still a little bit too intimidating for me. So I'm going to try this one. The translators, Richard Pevyar and Larissa Volokonsky, I love the way they translate Russian literature. Like, reading other translations compared to their translations are so much easier for a native English speaker, which I am, because I don't speak any other languages. I speak some French and that's it, but as a native English speaker, this is really readable and accessible. They have changed some of the idioms to be English idioms, so I'm going to be picking this up after I finish Crime and Punishment, which I will be doing before Saturday. Next, we have 2 books of a series, which I love this series. I've only read the first book, but I loved it. So I'm really excited to get into Queen's Play and The Disorderly Knights by Dorothy Dunnett. The first book, Game of Kings, is about, we have our roguish knave, Francis Lamond, and it's set in Scotland in 1547. And the book pretty much opens with everybody talking about how Lamond is back, and you learn in like the first chapter that pretty much Lamond, he was pretty much banished from Scotland because a few years prior he was caught selling secrets to England, which in Scotland, as we all know, is a big no-no. So I'm really excited to actually pick this up and pick up the sequel after this. I think 2 is completely reasonable in the course of 3 months. Right? So I have my little stack here, and the next books are bigger, and I don't know if it was smart to start with those ones. So now we're moving on to historical nonfiction. So the first book that I'm going to be talking about is Team of Rivals by Doris Kearns Goodwin. Kearns? So this is pretty much just about Abraham Lincoln. I'm already 70 pages in. In the next 4 days, I can guarantee you I am not going to read the remaining 700 pages. Not going to happen. So this is going to carry over into my summer reading. I have a hard time with Civil War history, but I think this would be really good to get into and learn more about it. This is going to be a little tower here. I'm way more excited for The Rise and Fall of Ancient Egypt by Toby Wilkinson. Ancient Egypt was the start of my love of history, and then it went to ancient Greece and ancient Rome. And dude, when I was little, I was such a geek. I could tell you about every single Greek god and goddess. I read Bullfinch's Mythology, and that was a lot of fun because I would go around and tell people all about stuff like, Athena popped out of her dad's head. That was fun. She got in there because he swallowed his wife. Yeah. I haven't been reading very much history, and it's something that I really am sad that I've lost. So I'm going to be reading about the rise and fall of ancient Egypt, and this will be my reward for finishing Team of Rivals so much. Next, we are moving on to another historical nonfiction, and that is Guns, Germs, and Steel by Jared Diamond. It's also a little undertitled The Fates of Human Societies. I really like culture. As a communication major, communication is my passion, and I love psychology and understanding people. And so just the premise of this book of here's an overarching look at the history of the world, but not just that, it's an overarching look at the history of the world through the eyes of the way that the people see things. It lays a foundation for understanding human history. Bill Gates said that. I can't find the synopsis on the book. And honestly, it rankles me. Like, why can't we have synopsises on the backs of the book? Like, I honestly, I don't want to know what people think about it. I want to know, like, what's it about? And I understand that The Fates of Human Societies is pretty self-explanatory. But pretty much this is just a foundational history book. So I can't wait to see what this is about. I've been told a lot about it, and it sounds fascinating. Next, we're in the fantasy section. So first we have Beauty, a retelling of the story of Beauty and the Beast by Robin McKinley. This a friend lent to me to read because she loves fairy tale retellings, and she said this is the best that she's read. And she says it's like her favorite book, and I've had it for several months, so I need to read it and give it back. This is the smallest book in this stack. It'll be great. Next we have two books in a series. We have The Shattered Vigil and The Wounded Shadow by Patrick C. Carr. These are books 2 and 3 to the Darkwater saga, which, you know, I read the first book a long time ago, and I don't really remember, like, I couldn't tell you exactly what it's about. I have read one other series by this author, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm excited to see if these are as good as this other series. What cracks me up most about this stack is it's all balanced very poorly on a Kindle Paperwhite. And I can see it tilting towards the corner where the Paperwhite is not, and I maybe should fix that. Next, we have another 4 books of a series. It's a series I'm working through. My goal is to finish the series before I'm the same age as the main character at the end of the series, according to Wikipedia sources. And that is the book that I'm going to try to finish by the end of June, is Path of Daggers by Robert Jordan. I have currently reached, as I have been told, this log. I'm going to read Path of Daggers hopefully in June, followed by Winter's Heart and Crossroads of Twilight hopefully in July. We'll see. Followed by, lastly, Knife of Dreams in August. We can play Jenga. Not Jenga. This is more like Tetris. At my job, I've sometimes had to instruct kids not to put small things on the bottom of structures because it makes the structures less steady. I'm a hypocrite. It's wobbling. That's fine. Right? Okay. The last 2 books that I'm going to talk about. One is book 1 in the Harvard Classics Anthology. And this is Franklin Woolman Penn. So this is the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin, the journal of John Woolman, and Fruits of Solitude by William Penn. And I will be releasing a video about the Harvard Classics in the future. My goal right now is to just read 15 minutes a day of one of them. And we'll see how that goes. The last thing I'm going to talk about is this amazing book. Oh, it's upside down. This amazing book. Actually, I have Middlemarch on my Kindle by George Eliot. So I'm kind of doing a book club thing with my aunt And we're reading Middlemarch by George Eliot. So far I'm enjoying it. However, I will not finish it before the summer solstice. So it's definitely going to be part of my 3-month reading, and there's probably going to be 1 or 2 other classics that we read after we finish Middlemarch. So those will be on my Kindle. But yeah. Hey. So yeah, those are all of the books that are on my TBR for this summer, aka from June 20th to September 22nd. And we'll see if maybe having a TBR that covers 3 months instead of 1 will satisfy me. Let me know what you'll be reading down in the comments, and I will see y'all probably, assuming my discipline holds out, in a week or so. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day. Hit subscribe if you feel so inclined, or don't hit subscribe if you do not feel so inclined.